Hi guys, so I want to talk today about an exciting announcement from OpenAI, which is SearchGPT. I've been calling for this for probably a couple of years now. I've been saying this is the golden egg for OpenAI in terms of revenue streams. So basically, I believe the best, well, not I believe, data dictates that the best performing marketing tool out there currently is Google pay-per-click. In terms of return on investment, so basically the money you spend for the money you get back, there's nothing that competes with Google pay-per-click. That's basically the engine, the revenue engine, which has built Google to a $3 trillion company. So what's SearchGPT and how can that impact Google pay-per-click? Well, Microsoft tried to compete with Google pay-per-click with Bing, but they couldn't do it. Google's pay-per-click engine was Google's search engine was so much better than Bing, but also its pay-per-click engine, it's the way it targets ads, the way it does its advertising on a click basis was so much better. For those of you who's not familiar, I know it depends what platform you're watching this on. Obviously, the guys on LinkedIn, the technical guys, just bear with me, but more for maybe non-tech people on YouTube. So the way Google pay-per-click works, you'll type a keyword into Google. So you might say blue Telsa. When you type that into Google, the top 3 results are paid for by advertisers. So basically, somebody will pay £2 per click to be number 1. Somebody will pay £1 a click to be number 2, and somebody will pay 50 pence to be number 3. What happens is then studies dictate that the people more or less always click on the top link. Then someone will click on the second comment, and then you lose people all the way down. But basically, most people click on the top link. Hence why that's £2 on the second link. Generic search underneath the top 3, that's basically covered by a concept called SEO, but I'll talk about that in a completely different talk. Okay, so let's get into how SearchGPT is going to compete with Google. So first up, data collection and analysis. We're talking about diving deep into behavioural data, understanding the context in which users engage, and leveraging historical performance. So what AI can do is sift through mountains of data to find patterns and insight that we might miss. Google pay-per-click just targets keywords. So let me give you an example. Okay, I might type in blue Telsa. Okay, I go and it gives me a Telsa garage, a local Telsa garage. I click on the top link. I pay Google £2. I go to the local Telsa garage and I buy a blue Telsa. This is what the way Google pay-per-click currently works. So I get home, I pick my Telsa up, I go home, and I think, okay, I don't want to go. I've got a new car. I want to take the family for dinner. I mean, that's what most of us do when we get a new car. So I'll type into Google again, local Chinese restaurants. I'll come up to the top, list the top 3. I'll click on the top 1. Google will get £1, and I'll visit the local Chinese restaurants. I then might think, well, okay, the weekend I'm going to go for a little weekend away with the family because I've got a new Telsa. So I'll come back from my Chinese meal. I'll get back onto Google. I'll type, I don't know, log cabins within 2-hour drive of Liverpool. Google will give me top 3 results. So I'll click on the top 1. I'll book a log cabin. You get the concept. So basically, what pay-per-click's doing is it's the economy. Everyone's getting money. Google are getting money for the clicks. The local businesses are getting money for the conversions. So basically, the problem is though with Google pay-per-click, that's not contextual. So what's happening is when I'm searching for the restaurants after I've bought the Telsa, Google pay-per-click doesn't understand. It only looks for local Chinese restaurants. It's not contextualizing it. So when I talk about contextualizing it, it's when you're using ChatGPT with AI, what you can do is that can then go, okay, you've just bought a blue Telsa. So what it'll say is, okay, we've got local Chinese restaurants. Do you want to drive? Do you want to go for a nice drive by the river? Do you want to go for the Chinese restaurant that's by somewhere by your family to show them your new car? Do you want to go for the Chinese restaurant that's like a nice drive through the countryside? Vice versa. So we can contextualize results based on what you've previously done. This is extremely powerful. This is the golden ticket for OpenAI, which is going to basically replace Google pay-per-click. Google pay-per-click, obviously, Google pay-per-click, it's the conversion rate on a local Chinese restaurant is quite high. But if you're basically then giving people options based linked to the previous search, so linked to the fact you brought it out there, it makes the whole search experience so much more targeted to what you're doing. A bit like what ChatGPT does now when you're contextually talking to it. But doing that with a pay-per-click model, so every time you basically click on it, OpenAI get money. So basically, there's more likelihood that basically, firstly, you're going to click on something that's more attractive. So, okay, local Chinese restaurants within a nice drive by the sea or by in the countryside. You go, oh yeah, go on and do that. So there's more chance of the click. So there's more chance of converting on a SearchGPT than a Google pay-per-click. But also, it's better for the economy as a whole because you're more likely then to go for the Chinese restaurants with the drive rather than maybe a local one which you may visit 4 or 5 times, nothing special, it's 5 minute drive away. You might think, no, I'm not going to bother going there. So basically, not only does the whole economy improves. So this is a good example of people talk about AI being a bad thing for the economy and taking jobs. There's a really good example on how it's creating jobs, it's creating economic growth and things. So basically, what I'm talking about is basically called dynamic audience segmentation. AI uses real-time data to create super specific audience segments. It's like having a crystal ball for your marketing strategy. It's genius. Okay. And then you have predictive targeting. So what you can do, you can use machine learning and it can predict who your next high value customer will be even before they show intent. So basically, at the minute, it's showing basically blue houses. If when you click on a blue house set at the first click keyword, basically it could have basically you would have just got a list of the local Chelsea dealers. But what AI can do, it can look at it and go, well, you're not really likely to buy a blue Chelsea. You might have a job where basically you're earning this salary and you can only do this and like context. So what it'll say is, rather than looking for a blue Chelsea, how about you look for maybe a second-hand blue Chelsea if you're on a lower salary, or how about you maybe potentially look for a cyber truck, maybe a bit more. So what it can do, it can predict what you're more likely to buy. Yeah, so it's not only is it contextual search after what as you're buying, it's also predictive search before you're buying. It opens up a absolutely gigantic opportunity for everybody really going forward. So how about another aspect to this is ad creation. So what happens with Google pay per click? You'll normally create certain text for adverts. So, buy a blue toaster from your local dealer. We are the cheapest in town. And then you'll use a concept called A/B testing or multivariate testing, and you'll test different variations of that text. But in essence, you've got to create them yourself. Your marketing team has got to come up with like 4 or 5 different messages, maybe things like that. What AI can do is it can create dynamic ad content on the fly. It can test multiple versions in real time and see what resonates. So in essence, it's a bit like having a real time multivariate test which is changing in real time all the time. It's basically AI is learning off your customers in real time. It's not just with a traditional multivariate test. You'll maybe start on the Monday, and then what you'll do is you'll run 5 different advert texts. So Blue Telstra local dealer, we're the cheapest. Blue Telstra local dealer, cheap finance. Blue Telstra local dealer, biggest in Liverpool, etc. And what you'll do, you'll pick them 3 adverts, you'll run them for 7 days, and then what you'll do at the end of the 7 days, you'll use A/B testing, mathematical, probability things, and you'll see what one wins. With AI, you literally could be changing every minute, so it could be changing it to Blue Telstra local dealer. Then it can be saying, well, that's not really working properly. What about changing it to Blue Telstra? We are the cheapest in Liverpool, only 2 minutes. It can change the text all the time, and so it basically doesn't just start with three messages that last 7 days, which is a traditional way of doing testing. With software, it can change in real time, which is absolutely huge in terms of marketing. Next, we can talk about real-time bidding. AI can adjust your bids instantly based on conversion likelihood, optimizing your budget dynamically. So what we do at the minute with pay-per-click, remember I said the top one is $2, the second one is $1, the third one is 50 cents. At the minute with Google, that's what you'll do, and then the next day you can change your bids, or maybe a week later you can change your bid. It's basically Google set the prices for each click, and then you basically decide what you want to bid. So in essence, I can say, well, I only want to bid $1.20. So what you'll end up being is you'll end up being like third on the search. You get me? But what AI can do, AI can look at the bids and can conversion, can look at the likelihood of conversion and optimize your budget dynamically. So it can really hone your marketing spend. There's apps so you get the optimum return on investment for every penny you spend. It's absolutely monumental. The biggest thing for me is, well, Google have been doing AI, and no offense to people, the guys at Google, I think they're absolutely wonderful engineers. Some of the stuff they're doing with big data is just beyond comprehension for me. But while they're doing AI and doing these little gadgety things like with, please tell me about this purple duck, really what Google should have been doing from day one is looking at the biggest revenue stream, which is pay-per-click, and they should have been building all this contextual search into it. For some reason, and I don't know why, Google took the eye off the ball with regard to pay-per-click. They seem to be moving everyone to like a content-led strategy. So basically, they're moving people into YouTube, doing 3-hour videos, things like that. So when we were talking before, within 10 minutes, I could have had 3 clicks. What they're doing is now they're moving people onto 3-hour videos, letting people talk for 3 hours, and then basically showing them an advert at the end, which is which is for Google's earning Google a few cents against like $5 or $6 in 10 minutes. So I'm not really sure on the strategy of Google allowing people to move into a video like slash content driven strategy rather than sticking with paid search. It seems to be they took the out about paid search, and in terms of the AI strategy, that should have been Google's first point of call. They still might come back and do that now. They ChatGPT on search, but they need to be really careful, because if ChatGPT gets SearchGPT out there, start doing this before Google respond, they could lose the biggest revenue stream, and we could basically see a $3 trillion company, Google, which is, I think, it's bigger than the American and the British economies, literally disappear. So basically, here's how you implement this. What you do is you develop AI models for data analysis, audience segmentation, and business strategies. Then integrate them into your platforms. Keep collecting data, keep learning, keep optimizing. It's not difficult to do, and I think OpenAI have opened, have identified a real big opportunity there. So how do you measure success? It's conversion rate, it's cost per conversion, it's the return on ad spend. You cannot, the sky's the limit with AI. So I mean, for me, the biggest company in the world over there, it's not going to be Tesla, it's not going to be SpaceX, it's going to be either Google or ChatGPT, OpenAI. It's going to be the people who get paid shares, right? Because that's in essence, at the minute, AI is free. AI is just a communication and we're paying things, but eventually AI search is going to have adverts in it, so you're going to be given sponsored ads, sponsored to sponsors. So basically, at the minute, you might ask ChatGPT a question on, but you'll go still use Google search for other things. So I wouldn't go to ChatGPT and say local Tesla dealer. But when this comes along and they start doing that, and they can then start, people will start paying for answers. The sky's the limit, really. So that's it for today. I just wanted to follow up from my Llama 3.1 video from a couple of days ago, which was hugely exciting. With this Search GPT announcement that I've seen today. I think it's massive for the community. I think Google need to be wake up, really wake up for this, and understand that rather than doing gimmicky search, doing gimmicky LLMs, and doing things like they need to be understand the contextual pay-per-click paid search is basically the fundamental crux of their business, and I think that OpenAI in targeting this have made a brilliant step forward. Thank you for watching.